All right, let's get to these top stories, shall we? Let's start off with the Supreme Court. Of course, the court is very busy these days, and a new case the justices will be hearing could impact your child's college education. They're taking a look at race-based affirmative action. We know Clarence Thomas is going crazy. Yes, he's happy about this right now. Other black people aren't. Joining us now is our justice correspondent, Candace Kelley. Candace, good morning to you. Let's talk about this because at the center of all this is Harvard and the University of North Carolina, which will determine if race can be used as a factor in college admissions. But why are these two schools in the middle of this?
Well, listen, there are a couple of legal cases that are making their way through the courts, Mike. And so the justices decided to take up these two cases together. In one case, you've got Harvard University, where the Students for Fair Admissions, this is a group that tries to figure out whether affirmative action policies should be used. And by and large, they're conservative and they don't like them. They want to eradicate them. They said that they did a study at Harvard University over 6 years, looking at Asian Americans, their scores, looking at admittance practices, and saying that even though their scores as far outseated other people's, that they were admitted at a lesser rate. That's Harvard University right there. They also don't like some of the tests that they use to figure out whether or not these Asian Americans have a kind quotient or a likability quotient. They said that by and large, Asian Americans score less on there. In the University of North Carolina, there you have a situation where they say that blacks have been admitted by far over Asians and whites. So you have Asians and whites, blacks, everyone is involved. No one is happy in terms of what is going on in terms of these affirmative action as we know it approaches. Now, one thing to remember is that the lower courts over the years and even the Supreme Court has always upheld affirmative action. They haven't upheld race quotas. What they have said is that you can use someone's race in order to consider that as a part of a bigger pie. You can use it as a slice to determine whether or not they can get in. But if this group has their way, especially looking at the way that the courts are stacked, then we don't know what the situation will be. But we know that the last time the Supreme Court heard about affirmative action was with a Texas law school in 2016. And Mike, they once again upheld it and said affirmative action was okay. So here we are again, where at least 4 justices decided, yes, we need to hear this case. We know the reason why, Mike. That is because of the makeup of the court. It might go a different way.
Yeah, let's talk about that because, I'm one to believe that, yes, maybe the courts can be conservative. They can be a little bit more progressive, but that shouldn't get in the way of precedent and how you interpret the law. Like you mentioned, in 2016, they won by a margin of 4-3. That's when the courts were made up a little bit differently. Now it's 6-3 the other way. So what do you think the chances of this actually being overturned will be, of them setting a new precedent?
I think that this is the time where this particular group that has always been pushing to eradicate affirmative action really has things that are going their way. Things are looking up for them. You've got the 6-3 majority. You've got the conservative court. Also, you don't have Ruth Bader Ginsburg. You don't have Justice Kennedy anymore. They were replaced by Judge Kavanaugh, and they were replaced by Amy Coney Barrett. So when we look at those numbers, it's no reason. I certainly understand why they wanted to take this case, because remember, we have about 8,000 cases that want to make their way to the Supreme Court. They hear about 80 to 100. So the justices have to make the decision first that this case is important to hear. Well, 4 of those justices certainly said yes. The fact that they even want to hear it during the fall is a very big deal. Now, this decision won't come down until 2023. They will hear it in the fall, but the decision will be the year after. Feels like a long way off. But this is something that we really have to think about. The Justice Department, the Department of Justice, they even encourage the Supreme Court not to listen to this case. They want things to remain as they are. But the Supreme Court said, no, we need to hear it. And the fact that they even took it up leads me to believe that they wanted to go another way, Mike.
Yeah, Justice Clarence Thomas was probably pushing for it as well, even though affirmative action actually probably helped him with his career before he became a Supreme Court justice. We will note the universities both won federal trial courts. Harvard's was affirmed on a federal appeal. And maybe, who knows, this could be a push in a positive way for some people because it may encourage more and more African Americans to consider to go to HBCUs. I'm just putting that out there for right now. Meanwhile, Candace, before we let you go, I want to talk about this because this is something that is actually kind of personal for me as well. Cardi B, I'm happy for her. She won her defamation lawsuit against that blogger, Tasha K, that was saying some nasty, inappropriate, and just making up lies about Cardi B. So what are the takeaways from yesterday's verdict?
Like you said, Mike, Tasha K, when she went on the stand during this case, she actually admitted that she made up lies in order to get money. Listen, here are some of the takeaways. Number one, if you are a vlogger, if you post anything online, you should know that you are going to be held to the same standards as a journalist. It doesn't matter if you call yourself a journalist or not. You can't just make up lies. You can't make up information in order to get clicks. Number two, if you get a cease and desist letter, like Tasha K did on 3 occasions, that means you should cease and desist. Why she said that she would wipe it with her backside, which is what she said, I don't know. But she felt that she was immune from the law. Number three, the takeaway from this is that celebrities aren't playing. Why people think that they can make a career out of bashing celebrities, I will never know. It makes no sense. That most of them are lies, but people continue to click. And I think the final takeaway is that $1.25 million is nothing to laugh at. This is something that Tasha K probably never expected. She's been after Cardi B for some unknown reason for 2 years. Now this judgment has come out. Not only are we talking about the loss of her reputation and the loss of her money, but if I were the attorneys of Cardi B, I would next go after the YouTube channel, social media platform that Tasha K has. I would want them to get rid of it. Mike, let's face it, YouTube channels have been taken down for less, and I think that is next. Out of all this, she could lose her livelihood that she is getting online, and that is really her main income. So all of that should be considered for anyone right now who posts. Before you post, look at what you are writing. All of the laws that are out there apply to you. Why not be informed and do what the law says?
Yeah, and it's not journalism. It really isn't. And once again, they know it's going to be about clicks, but hopefully with this lawsuit, Cardi B winning this lawsuit, it will deter others from doing the same thing and harming celebrities out there, because they're people too. Candace Kelley,
That's right.
thank you as always for joining us this morning with the latest.